we are looking at the entertainment industry now. We know that a lot of musical cans have been kicked down the road. A lot of high-profile events, whether they are corporate or leisure, across the region because of the conflict in the first half of the year. But that doesn't mean no growth. So the people who sell the tickets. We are joined by Cosmin Ivan, who is the CEO of Platinum List. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. And nice to see you again, Brandy.
It's lovely to see you too, Cosmin. And it's nice to speak to someone who can see where we are buying tickets, where we are putting our money and what's going on across categories. Let's talk about categories, actually. What have you seen in the first half of this year? It's very easy to sort of say, well, everything was cancelled. But was it?
It was not everything cancelled. I know that even recently, somebody from Europe, I was having a chat with them and they were asking, like, how is it doing? Because we are seeing some tension and so on. Actually, we've looked at the main numbers and we landed 6% above pre-conflict. So that was very interesting. Even the sessions of search on the website in Platinum List overall, the region were with 22% above the pre-conflict.
Stop. Matt and I...
Another meerkat moment there.
...are looking at each other in wonder.
We like good news.
6% up. Look, we do. But what are you talking about? Ticket sales in H1? Break that down for us.
Yeah. So, for example, the sales. Yeah. We and the sessions of search. So people were trying to find out to do something out. Yeah. And usually the searches on the website on the things to do. We in May 15th, we landed 22% before the conflict. So people were searching what to do outside, attractions, concerts. And when it comes to cancellation and postponing, yes, maybe there were international acts that were difficult for them to bring the logistic in with the freight and with the transportation, because we are talking about hundreds of kilograms of devices and technical rider. But let's not forget that we have a strong local pool of artists, from comedy festivals to the Arabic concerts, which whatever we've put out, it was almost sold out. Like Angam, Rami Sabri, we had Rajid Al-Majid 2 nights sold out in Etihad Arena. We had in Coca-Cola Arena, Majid Al-Muhandis, again, a sold out show, almost 13,000 tickets. So people want to go out. And we've seen that in a survey that we did during the tensions. And we discussed with the governments of Dubai, of Abu Dhabi, and we showed them the data. And they were like, really, this is what's happening. And then they took the decision to go ahead with shows, and the reaction was amazing.
Yeah, Cosmin, hi, it's Matt here. I mean, that's an amazing set of stats you've just given. It's you know, resilience is the word that we use probably too much. We're over defensive of it. How much are Q1 numbers skewing those levels, though? Because obviously January and February were extraordinarily successful for most industries here. Q2, different story?
Yes. So actually the year started 15% or 20%, if I remember well, above 2025, which was a stellar year. And then we had March, which was a big drop, like a very big drop. We are talking about 80-something% down on March. Then we've seen a plateau in February, and then we've seen increase during end of April. Mm-hmm. And then in May we reached the recovery, and then we've seen we surpassed numbers of February by 6%.
What about revenues, though? So that's purchases per day, your 6%.
Yes.
What's happened to ticket prices in that? There's two forces going on in town at the moment. One is in hospitality, hotel, people discounting to get people through the doors, but the other is increased costs. Where are ticket prices coming out?
Yeah, here we've seen an interesting trend. We've seen a few categories that the average price went up by maybe 13%. For example, Arabic shows, the average bill increased by 13% before the conflict. And then we had even football increased by 40%, ticket prices. And we've seen attractions and tourist experience increasing as well by maybe 80%. Because people really wanted to go out with their kids, with families, and they were just booking things to do across UAE. But on the other side, we have EDM, which the average, like we are talking about the electronic music market, it decreased to almost 40%. So you had to be very careful if you're putting an entertainment act out there. You had to be very careful with the pricing, because the average bill of people going out for the club night, it had to be with the 40% down. So even if you wanted to put tickets on sale, you had to be very careful with the pricing. And then what we've seen from attractions and experiences, while the price was accessible, they had to do some tricks. For example, complimentary towel, or some extra that you're getting when you're going out with the family, or packages, family package. So that's something that was very interesting to see how it goes. So we have categories which were higher in price, and we have categories which went down with the price to be able to sell the products.
Fair enough. I mean, look, I was out last night watching the England game, of course I was, and the pubs were busy, the bars were busy, trying to get a seat, a table. It was pretty much sold out, but I'm fearful that's because it was an 8 o'clock kickoff. Q3, what's your outlook, and is all the hype around a big bounce back in Q4? Is that on your radar too?
Yes. Because we are getting a very good feedback right now. Even the region itself, like for example in Bahrain, we went out with an amazing activity a few weeks ago, and it got sold out every day. They had to extend 5 days to be able to meet the demand. And for the Q3, Q4, especially Q4, looking at the numbers and the activity that the organizers are putting out, it'll be a very busy Q4. I'm expecting, with my gut feeling and experience in the industry, that will be maybe the biggest Q4 that we had, because we have an overlapping between the postponed events from Q2 plus the normal and the new acts that are usually put out there. And we have a lot of organizers which they delayed their decision to hold the event, and that will be most probably Q4. So I'm expecting a very busy Q4, and lots of artists that I know that are being in discussions will be around Dubai, Abu Dhabi. We'll have some Ras Al Khaimah activity, so it'll be a very busy Q4.
Thanks so much for joining us this morning. Fingers crossed. Cosmin Ivan, CEO at Platinum List. We appreciate your time.